I only been stopped once by the police. This was like when I was coming home from school, because I guess it was kind of late. It was around 8, because I had stayed late that day in the library working on a project. And I was walking down the street, and then a police car pulled up, and they asked if they could ask me a couple of questions. And they were asking me questions like, what is my name, how old I am. Apparently there was a murder in the neighborhood, but I haven't heard about it. So and then they would ask me like, do you know the boy? Were you involved? And they would ask me questions like, who do you run with, and stuff like that. And then the police officer who had stopped me had blue smoke in my face, and they just drove off.
I have never had an encounter with the police, but everybody around me has. Yeah, my uncle around my grandma's house where she lives now. She lives on 90 93rd and Evans, and literally right outside of the house, my uncle, he kind of tall and he light skinned and he got an afro. He don't have dreads, and he don't look suspect, but they was riding past and they stopped him. Made him take off all his stuff, threw his stuff all over the curb. They asked him, I think they asked him where was he going, and he's literally right in front of the house. He was coming out his car, and they asked him did he steal the car. They ran his license plate, didn't find nothing, and they basically kind of beat him up for no reason at all. And he's right in front of his house. And as he's telling them that that's his house, they didn't care. They put him in the back of the police car. The whole time we sitting in the house and we looking out the window the entire time. And they basically put him in the back of the car, ran him through, and then let him go.
I got stopped like with my friends or whatever. But we was kind of out like at 9 or something like that. We was coming home from, playing the game, coming from my house playing the game. So we had got stopped by the police. They like, what you out here doing or whatever at this time of night? Like, I'm dropping my friends off at the corner so they can go home. And then they had they had told me like, shut up, ran my name. Like, I didn't never got in trouble, so they ran my name. They didn't see nothing. And my other friend, they ain't had nothing on their record neither. So they told us to stand on the car or whatever. And they had us out there for a minute. And, I had asked him, like, why you got us out here? And he told me to shut up. And I had asked him again. Then he had slapped me or whatever. And, But I actually want to be a detective. So, I mean, I don't let that get to me.
I felt kind of disrespected, and like at the same time, I felt like they were treating me as if I was already a criminal without even knowing me at all.
Well, it made me feel kind of like distant from the police because, like I said, he was just sitting in front of his car. He was literally coming from somewhere. He parked. He got out, and then he sat there. He had his door open. He was just sitting there. The police pulled up, pulled him out the car, started investigating or whatever, so-called investigating, and I'm just sitting there like he didn't do nothing. We all waiting for him to come in the house. So
Like, it felt like man, I'm a man, and another man just slapped me. I can't do nothing about it. It's just the law, I guess. So I just, I felt I was embarrassed. I ain't wanna have no encounters with the police, like nothing. Like, I didn't even wanna look at them. And I just went home, told my mom, like, and she like, that's just the way people is. They got some issues going on or whatever. So it took me a while to get over it, but eventually I got over it.
It was a mix of surprise and anger, cause I've like heard stories about how the police were like disrespectful and stuff like that, but I never really believed it, cause I thought the police were supposed to protect you and like uphold order and stuff like that. And then like after I was stopped, it's just like maybe these stories are true. I have no idea what they could be capable of if they could like be that disrespectful and assume that I'm a criminal when I'm just one boy walking down the street. So I don't know how they would have responded if I was in a large group or had responded in a disrespectful way when he blew smoke in my face.
it just kind of made me feel like I don't trust him. To just see your uncle being thrown across a police car, it kind of upsets you.
Before the incident, I probably would have instantly went to the police for help, but like after the incident, I don't know if they'll come, if they're responsible. Will they like come at me for being involved in the incident? Cause it's like if they if they're the kind of people that are gonna assume who I am, they may assume that I started the altercation or something like that.
It distinctly changed at that moment. My uncle doesn't look like any type of criminal at all. Like he looks like a grown man. He looks like a professional man. He just, I guess that day he just looked like it to them.
My wrestling coach actually a police officer or whatever. You know, he was encouraging me to, do criminal justice or go to the Navy or whatever. So it was like not all police is bad people, and then you just gotta let stuff go. Like it's just like other people on the street. Like you got your good people, you got your bad people. So that's how it is.
Yeah, cause like at first it was like I assumed that all cops were good cops, but now I realize that there are some bad cops, and when I call, what's gonna come, a good cop or a bad cop? Whether are they gonna be effective, do their job, ask questions, investigate, or criminalize and penalize me before even knowing me?